A little boy in a muddy field building a shelter for his family. This is Haiti, 5 days after the earthquake. Hundreds languishing in misery and squalor under the blazing sun. Their homes destroyed, their spirits breaking. We're not receiving any aid, Felicita Delem tells us. She's angry, she says, because this is abuse and injustice. Children somehow show the resilience they so often do. But among the adults, there's little hope here that this suffering won't continue. The growing fear is that it will only get worse, with little sign of any coordinated effort to bring help. This woman fled her home with her mother and brothers before it collapsed. Where I'm sitting is where I sleep, she says. I slept in the rain. I have nothing to eat, nothing to drink. So much despair, and it isn't even the worst of it. Nearby, the injured, barely treated since the earthquake struck, are still arriving at a local hospital. The facility is completely overwhelmed, hard even to find a bed for a man crying out in pain.
Is there no beds at the home?
None. They're all been taken up.
You know what? What do we put him on this bench right now?
As they struggle with where to put him, an aftershock, and he's moved out from under the roof onto the grass for safety. Just one more layer of difficulty for the traumatized and those trying to help.
There's absolutely nothing in this hospital. The beds are full, the cupboards are empty, and we need as much as we can get.
This man's 6-month-old baby was killed. His daughter has a broken collarbone, but after hours of waiting, they still hadn't seen a doctor. Hopefully they can fix my child, he says. Doctors here know this is only the first wave of the earthquake's victims.
This week, trauma. Next week, psychology. So I'm sure that we will need psychology come here to see our people. And after 1 month, nutrition program.
But now the focus is this, the most desperate of work, the fight to save lives forever scarred by this tragedy.
Ellen, so heartbreaking to see what's happening there and what's not happening there, right? And we've talked about the daunting logistics holding back aid efforts. What other complications are there in getting help to where it's needed most?
Well, Andrew, there are several other issues emerging here. One is a lack of resources. Another is a lack of central coordination overseeing this relief effort. And that coordination issue does come down in part to the political situation here in Haiti. Remember, the president of Haiti was assassinated just last month. There is a prime minister who's taken over, but there is also a leadership vacuum here. We talked to one man in Lake High, near a crack in the earth that was caused by the earthquake, and he was so upset, telling us that in his view, the problem with not enough aid getting to these people is that there isn't, in his words, a real government in Haiti. He also, Andrew, described to us how it's becoming harder and harder and harder every day to have any hope.
Ellen Morrow, lots more work to do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.